In this video, we're doing an updated NC1 NSX buyer's guide, a 2025 edition. Now, we've had the car for about a year. We've learned a lot. We've done oil changes, air filters, we replaced the battery. We've done a lot of research how the car works. We've done a lot of driving. So we're gonna give you a good buyer's guide. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, if you're buying an NSX, you should definitely check the 12-volt battery. It's really easy to inspect. You essentially pop this cover off and you could see the 12-volt battery. Sometimes you could see a sticker telling you when it was installed, but you want to make sure that the battery is not super old. These cars are definitely getting older, so you want to make sure your 12-volt battery isn't too old because you're gonna have to replace that. Another thing is you probably want a battery tender. Hopefully the seller will have one. Otherwise, you're gonna have to spend $100. So if you can make sure you get one, save yourself $100. Now, this car, the NC1 NSX, has an important fuel pump recall. We made an entire video about it. You could watch it. It's like 4 or 5 minutes long. It goes in detail. Long story short, Denso made a fuel pump that doesn't work. And if your NSX needs that recall done, it's really intricate. Highly recommend to find an NSX that already has that recall done. Otherwise, your NSX is gonna get taken apart and put back together. And that sucks, and that takes some time, even though it's free. So watch that video and know about that recall. We'll put that in the description. You want to make sure that you have your engine covers. They do yellow, and at one point in time they were being goodwilled. They're not being goodwilled. I asked my local dealer, but you want to make sure that everything's good. The tabs on these break off, so if you find that they're broken, it's super common. And also these little things right here, they're always missing on people's cars, so just know that. So make sure that you check the oil and make sure that you do your oil check correctly. And I'm going to show you something here too. First off, remember I told you about these little tabs? Look at this, so common. This is broken right here. They break off. So it's at the end of the day, you should know that. And there's a slight yellowing, but again, this is like an amazing car and stuff's not gonna be perfect. But the reason why I took this off is to show you this right here. You have to go through a certain procedure. We have a video how to show you how to check your oil. It's a process. You gotta let the engine run. It's gotta be up to temperature and it'll tell you when it's ready for you to check the dipstick. And you wanna make sure that the oil has been changed. The oil has to be changed every year, regardless of the mileage, regardless of the situation. It has to be changed every year, so that is what it is. Make sure you have service records, make sure you have documentation that it's been done, and really important. The manual says to check it every time you get gas. All right, to check it, I have a light, and it's really hard not to do it without a light. And I shine down, and you still can't see the minimum and the max. So what I have to do is I have to use a little inspection mirror, and I can actually see the level that I need to be in. So make sure you guys check your fluid. Now we're going to look at the wheels. When you're looking at the wheel and tire combination, look at the actual date code for the tires. Sometimes wheels could look good and tires could look good, but they're old. So make sure that you look at that manufacturer date code, no matter what, if it looks good, so you don't have to replace tires, because that could be a couple of grand. All right, another thing too is we're gonna come over here. When you're opening up your car door, you just wanna make sure it does this, because these are like little motors and stuff like that. You wanna make sure everything works, does its little close like that. For alignment and everything. So at a certain point, these cars are getting older. 2017, we're 2025. So at a certain point in time with mileage and time, I know I'm saying time a lot, but the fluids are gonna have to be changed. Now this uses a Honda maintenance algorithm that it tells you when it needs to be serviced. But I bought my NSX and it has over 30,000 miles and all the fluids were done, which is good. In my opinion, if you're close to that mileage, all the fluids should have been done. Like all the drivetrain stuff, everything, oil, all that. Another thing too is if your car comes with carbon ceramic brakes, have those inspected. If you don't know how to inspect them, take them to a dealer. I have a video showing you how to inspect them. We'll put that in the description as well. But long story short, a lot of this stuff, you want to save yourself some money. Now, you might think buy the lowest mileage NSX. Remember, this is a hybrid supercar, and this is like a cell phone. It has a battery in there. And believe it or not, the best analogy I could tell you is that it needs to be exercised, meaning that the car has to be driven. And that battery tender is really for the 12-volt battery. It's not for the hybrid battery. You have to drive this car. In the manual, it states that you have to drive it at a minimum of 3 months, and you have to go for like a 30-mile drive or something like that. Long story short, you want to find a car that's a balance of like mileage and maintenance, so you don't have to replace a bunch of stuff, work on a bunch of stuff, do a bunch of recalls just because it got low mileage. You want a car that a lot of stuff is done so you could enjoy it. Now, that being said, we've covered mostly everything that's wrong with an NSX because it's an incredible car, but we do want to tell you about our company, CarSoundCheck.com, where we offer sound check guides. And what we do is we actually do all the research that I'm talking about for you, except the physical part, because I can't be everywhere. But we look at Carfaxes. We look at maintenance history. We investigate the seller. We look at the prior history of the car, where it's been sold. We look at things that need to be done. We look at photos. We look at things that might be off. And then when you take it to go get a PPI inspection, we're actually there to guide you through the process. So when they give you that report, you send it to us as well. It's covered under the fee that you pay. And then we look at that report and we look at the PPI inspection and we communicate with you and you communicate with the dealer, and it all works out really well. On top of that, I'm a master technician, so I could contact dealerships and I could access service records. I could, maybe you bought a car from a dealer and you can't get service records from like 3 owners back. Well, I'll try to get those records for you. I can't guarantee it, but I try to get those records so you have a whole picture of that car. So at the end of the day, this is a great buyer's guide, but when you tie it in with our sound check guide, it's really incredible. Our first customer for our company was an NC1 NSX customer, so we're real proud about that. But at the end of the day, when you get an overall picture, a very detailed investigation of the car, it really helps you make a good decision. Well, I hope that this NSX buyer's guide is going to help you. We here at Drivers Therapy have about 50 videos showing you and telling you how to do stuff, how to replace the battery, how to do the air filters. We also talk about how the EV system works, the history of the engine. We talk about really in-depth stuff. We give tutorials on how to drive. We do POV videos. We do a lot of good stuff. So make sure you check those out. Well, thank you for watching. You take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.